You are looking at a microwave imagery of Typhoon Bolaven moving over Okinawa here on the evening of the 26th of August 2012. Rob here with today's Western Pacific weather update. And yes, it's been some time since my last update. I just got back from my vacation out in the Americas. Really trying to get some R&R in, actually first vacation since 2009. So glad to be back here, but unfortunately the minute I step back in the door, I come to see that there is a landfalling typhoon here over Okinawa. If you want to check back Weathercaster Pads updates and also the website, continued updates have been posted on both of these storms, Tembin and also Bolaven here. But let's talk about this one first here on this particular update. Why? Because it is currently moving over land. Already wind gusts above typhoon strength have been recorded over Okinawa. Actually, the max wind gust in Japan from Bolaven has been upwards of 83 knots, not in Okinawa, but a little bit farther off there towards the north in Kagoshima Prefecture on one of these outer rain bands earlier today produced some strong thunderstorms apparently and really put those wind gusts up there. But also 56 knot sustained winds have been seen here on the left front quadrant of this eye wall moving over Okinawa currently. And from what I can see, it does look like the eye wall is slightly weakening, but not enough really to spare much of the northern portions of the island here. There has been some reports saying it's not as bad as what was predicted, but still this eye wall is starting to move over land, and you still really can see these wind gusts upwards of 140 knots actually being warned on by the Japan Meteorological Agency. Currently, from JMA, it does look like sustained winds upwards of 56 knots are being recorded. Here in the Amani Prefecture, just towards the north of Okinawa, you can see this wind rate in here of 29 meters per second. That's actually upwards of about 56 to about 60 knots, give or take here. So, yes, it's very windy out there, but the wind gusts continue to gust up as well. And also, you have that threat of low-lying coastal storm surge that's going to continue to follow throughout the rest of your evening, going into tomorrow morning if you are here across the southern Japanese island. And if you want an idea of the current warnings actually being posted on this storm, this is out of Naha here. Storm, high wave, storm surge, heavy rain, flood, and thunderstorm warnings and advisories are currently being put out from the Japan Meteorological Agency across here. I know that T-Core 1 has been issued for Kadena there in Okinawa as well for any military personnel, basically meaning you just stay inside and ride this one out throughout the rest of the evening. Do not try to venture outside, not even to try to get some photos or videos. It very well could be rather dangerous. Even if it doesn't look dangerous, you have to remember that the squalls from these storms can kick up in a matter of moments. Now, really, you can see here, though, a well-defined eye wall over top of Okinawa, moving over land at this time. Once again, wind gusts upwards of 140, even higher than that could happen. What this means is small trees really could be knocked over. Definitely structural damage is very well possible, especially if there's loose debris laying around. But the good news is most of Okinawa is built for these type of storms. They're well adapt to it over the years of continue being battered here by typhoons. But with that said, still, it can be dangerous, so definitely want to stay inside, especially with these bands here. You have the eye wall right there, right front quadrant, give or take here, really is not the issue because it definitely is moving onshore, but also you're going to have that wind moving in from the north as well, so storm surge on the west coast could be a major problem here, and also off there towards the Amani Prefecture where we were seeing that wind report upwards of 29 meters per second. And also remember these outer rain bands, these thunderstorm activities, even farther off there towards Kagoshima. You're talking about the risk of potentially even tornadic activity. If we take this radar imagery and pull up the tornado signatures on it, you can actually see tornado level 1 being issued here across much of Okinawa here, even Naha off there towards Amani Prefecture as well. Tornado level 2, which is worse than level 1, it has been in and out here, so you have to keep that in mind as well as this storm continues to push throughout the rest of your evening now into tomorrow morning. So let's take a look at the official warning here from the Japan Meteorological Agency. With that said, as they expect it to continue to track off there towards the north by 21 UTC off here just towards the north of Okinawa, but you're still going to have those bands continuing to push onshore there. And then by the evening of the 27th, or basically by Monday evening, out there towards the Yellow Sea, by this time, especially as it gets a little bit farther there towards the north, it'll start to encounter cooler sea surface temperatures that should weaken it. But around Seoul, you're going to be wanting to watch this storm as well going into the mid part of the week as it continues to track off there along the western periphery of a high pressure just there towards the east. And as that does continue to track off, it will start to pull in our other tropical system. Now this is Tembin, just towards the west of Taiwan. Has been a rather erratic storm and was expected to make landfall here across the east coast of Taiwan. Moved up there towards the west, then it stalled out due to a lack of steering flow. Kind of started to get sucked into the big vortex off here towards the east. That is Bolaven. Actually, think of a black hole. It sucks all the mass in around it. If you're any astronomy buffs watching this, well, very similar here. You have that low pressure here. This is going to want to run downhill, and it is going to just follow Bolaven as it starts to move off there towards the north, gradually weakening as Bolaven sucks the energy away from it, but very likely could make a landfall here across the west coast of Taiwan. And with that said, this typhoon very well could be dropping some drenching rainfall all over this already saturated area, as it already impacted the area last week. And once it hits again, it's a 1-2 punch. Flooding and landslides are going to be very high at risk. And model consensus, unfortunately, is very well concurring with this scenario as it gets pulled in from the west there, pushing across Taiwan. Once it moves across, so hits those mountains and also starts to lose a lot of its energy due to an increase of vertical wind shear. Do expect this to decrease in intensity very rapidly, about the 48-hour mark here. So going into about Tuesday morning, expect this intensity to drop off from typhoon status all the way down to tropical depression possibly as it moves off there towards the north, possibly impacting Shanghai by midweek, but very well being a very weaker tropical system. Now let's look down a little bit farther at Bolaven and the model outlooks for this one. Still expecting it to remain on that northerly course, weakening as it moves into the Yellow Sea, but Seoul, you're going to have to continue to watch this as it goes into the mid part of this week. For much of western Japan, Kyushu in particular, still going to get some outer rain bands from it, and also over towards Shanghai, very well possible, but I don't think that center of circulation is going to veer very far from this track, at least at this time. But for at least at this time, for those of you in Okinawa, please continue to watch out for some more updates. Also, continue to check the Japan Meteorological Agency for your latest warnings and information across your region there. And if you're any military personnel, you do want to check Cadena's website and also on their Facebook page. They have a lot of great information flowing here as well about the latest information here, latest T-cores, and also any damage reports or anything being closed in and etc. So I would suggest if you have a Facebook account to go to this webpage here and do like it, and you could follow along with their conversation. And also don't forget to like us on Facebook and Twitter as well at Western Pacific Weather. You can follow me on Facebook and Twitter at Robert Speta as well. And once again, though, if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, please post them in the comment box below. I really do hope this update did help out. I do apologize, and I did not put it out now until just this Bolaven started making landfall over Okinawa. And also I have missed out the past week, but do need to get some vacation time in as well here. So please stay safe out there. Have a great evening, and don't put yourself in any danger. Have a good night.